video is I've got this carburetor here, or twin carb I should say. We're going to clean this up, and these are tricky to get off. I'm sure everybody does this differently, but this is the way I do it. There are 4 bolts. I think they're 13 mil. I usually take those 4 bolts off because it's very difficult to just get the carbs off. As you can see, there's basically no room to work here. And when this is in the ski, it's basically makes it virtually impossible to get these carburetors off. So, alright, first thing I'm going to do is get this flame arrestor out. Sometimes it's a little tricky. As you can see, I bent it a little bit. These usually bend back into place pretty easily. This is a good opportunity to clean the flame arrestor up and get any debris out of there. Alright, so these are a 5mm hex, and we'll remove Okay, so I don't really have the tool to get these off and put them back on, and I'm not even really sure what these are called. I just cut them off and I put the regular 1/4-inch pipe clamps. That always works for me, and they're easy to deal with. The pulse tube, I usually just leave that there, and I'll do that, and then at the same time I will remove the linkage. The linkage is pretty easy to get apart. There is actually, and it's missing on this jet ski, there's supposed to be a little C-clip here that holds the cable in, which appears to be missing. And it is also missing down here as well. So right here, that is able to pull out, that shouldn't be able to pull out. So there is usually a C-clip here, so when I put this back together, I'll make sure that those are reinstalled. So someone's been at this before. Okay, so both these carburetors are both the same, with one difference. So this being the carburetor closest to the magneto, this actually has the fuel pump on it. Okay, so here is the line going to the crankcase for your pulse, and this part of the carb is your pump. Now, on the PTO, on the carburetor that's closest to the PTO, you have the same sort of plate, but there's nothing there. So when you open that up, you'll notice it's just like a this part doesn't do anything. So, okay, take this off. Okay, so now we got the pump off. This is what your fuel pump looks like inside. This one looks pretty clean. Takes the pulse from your engine, moves this little diaphragm up and down, which sucks fuel in through this check valve here, and then pushes it out through this check valve into, let's take this off. Okay, so we can see. Okay, so I've just cleaned up the fuel pump. I'm just cleaning the carbs. I'm not rebuilding them, so I don't have a carb kit here. I don't have new gaskets. I don't have any of that stuff. No new seals or anything like that. I'm just using what's here and cleaning it. Yes, I know that the carb rebuild kits are very affordable. Sometimes you don't always have that. Like, I want to use my jet ski. I can't wait 2 weeks for a carb kit to get here, right? So I just want to clean my carbs, get them on my ski and get going. So I've cleaned this fuel pump. I've cleaned the diaphragm just by, taking a cloth and rubbing it. There was a lot of carbon buildup on this. I think it's Mylar, and a lot of carbon buildup in here. So I have removed that. The less buildup you have on this diaphragm, the easier it is to move back and forth. So the less mass you have attached to this, the better the pump works. So the faster the response kind of thing. And just, every little increase in space counts for something here. So I've cleaned this up as well. I haven't taken, the gasket's fine on here, so I left that. And this part of the carb is now, this is the way I always do it. I've done lots of these, and it always works. So yeah, so that's good. The next part is these with these little check valves here. Everything here looks good. Just use a little bit of emery paper, clean that up a little bit. Looks good. All right, so in this portion, there's a little fuel filter here. Looks like that. And as you can see, there's some junk down at the bottom. And so I'll just take a compressor and I'm going to blow this little filter out. So, but yeah, there's actually quite a bit of junk down there. So I'll blow that out, and then that'll clean that out. All right, we've cleaned this little fuel filter here. So that looks good now. Just set that down over here. Now, on a lawnmower or something, you'd have a float bowl here, but because this has this carburetor, these style carburetors have to work in any orientation. Your jet ski may be standing on on end. It has to work all the time. So what these style carburetors have this kind of a system here, where the fuel fills up this very small void, and as it's sucked in, it creates a vacuum, and then this little button here, this little red button, presses down on the lever for the needle valve. So that little button, as the carburetor sucks the fuel out, it presses down on this lever here, which and I'll take the needle valve out, and you'll see how that works and gives it more fuel. Actually, this carburetor is not too bad in terms of cleanliness. I've seen a lot worse. This should clean up real nice. We get the needle valve out and check the condition of the needle. Okay, there's your spring there, don't lose your spring. And out comes the lever with the needle valve attached to it. Now we're going to check this needle valve to see if there is a groove. There is definitely a groove in this needle valve. also remove, well, we'll remove the spring too. But anyways, we'll take this out, check the condition of that. Okay, it just has a kind of a retainer like that. Okay. Okay, so that should just pop right out of there. You can clean that out. Make sure that's clean. We'll get down to these main the jets right now. A fast jet and slow jet. So we'll take those out. You can get these jets out with a little flathead screwdriver. Take these out. Just run a little bit of wire through there just to make sure there's no obstructions. But they do look like they're in good shape. Okay. This is you know what, that looks good, so I'm just going to put that right back in. There's nothing, no junk in there, nothing. I can see right down through to the throttle body. Might just blow a little bit of compressed air through there. Make sure there's no obstructions. But this carburetor is looking decently clean right now. So here we get this smaller jet out now. Okay, that looks good as well. Yeah, looks to be good shape. I'll just toss a bit of compressed air through these passages here, and then this looks really clean. You just want to, at this point, blow some air down through these holes. Make sure that the holes where it comes out into the throttle body is there's no obstructions there. There's the small little holes, and then there's one big hole, and the two small ones are for the slow or the idle jet, and then the fast jet is the big one. That's the one that's letting out a majority of the fuel when you're going super fast. And just real quick before we go here, this is the fuel filter that I pulled out of the other carb, all clogged up. Not much fuel is going to be getting through that. So there's all kinds of crap in there, but that's a good example. That's something real small, but it's going to really affect the performance of your ski. So it is worth going through these carburetors and checking for stuff like that. It's really help you with some serious issues. But anyways, again, hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.